Banerjee's firefights rebellion. Senior BJP leader Swapandas Gupta is also an MLA from the BJP as well as a minister now in the Suvendu Adhikari government. He's sounded a note of caution, warning the party against embracing false friends and allowing the political culture of the former TMC leaders to influence the Bharatiya Janata Party. And my colleague and national editor of Times Now, Pranesh Kumar Roy, spoke to Swapandas Gupta to get more insights and perspective of what lies ahead for the Trinamool Congress in the state of West Bengal as well as the BJP.
Joining us now is one individual who needs no introduction. Mr. Swapandas Gupta is joining us on Times Now, minister now in the West Bengal government. Mr. Das Gupta, pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations on your induction into the cabinet. My first question is on the post that you put out this morning, where you're talking about the self-destruction of the TMC. You said, and I'm quoting now, "I shed no tears for the TMC's self-destruction. My only hope is that the political culture of the vandals does not start contaminating the West Bengal BJP. The detox of Bengal cannot be left incomplete." Could you shed more light on it, sir? What were you trying to say here?
Well, I'm trying to say very simply that, the Trinamool is imploding. I'm very happy for that. It needed to. It was a very malevolent force in Bengal, and the people reacted quite vociferously and gave us a very emphatic mandate on the 4th of May. Subsequent to that, the Trinamool itself is caught up in their own little issues about their resulting from their post-mortem, and various people are blaming each other. That happens in a political party. I presume it's happening in the Trinamool Congress, so be it. That has got nothing to do with us. As far as we are concerned, we should be equidistant and hostile to both factions of the TMC, because they are political opponents. The mandate was against both these factions, and I hope we will respect the mandate. President, the state unit president, Shomik Bhattacharya, has already said that we are not going to induct any one of them. And I hope we are also going to make it quite clear that just because tomorrow somebody is putting out a tweet saying how they welcome the introduction of the new Annapurna Bhandar, 3,000 rupees per month on women, that they've suddenly washed away their sins. Their sins haven't been washed away. I believe that they still remain a malevolent criminal force in West Bengal, and we should be treating it as such.
Okay, Mr. Das Gupta, let me then,
This is more a preemptive warning rather than actually what has happened.
Okay, sir, then, I beg your indulgence here. Then let me ask you about, the people who've sinned, so to say. What will the government do about those sinners?
Look, let the law take its own course in different respects, but politically, we've got to wipe out the legacy of this syndicate Raj, the extortion. The tales you hear each day from people are just horrific. I mean, it's unimaginable that this is what a civilized state like West Bengal had to experience for over 15 years. And we have to, somehow those guys must be made to atone for their sins, and West Bengal must go through this entire purification, detoxification of that. And that's why I'm saying that any remnants of that old regime which comes into our thing should be treated with a great deal of wariness, caution, and, if I may say so, hostility.
Now, sir, are you then, suggesting, and correct me if I am wrong, that given the politics in Bengal, where, leaders do switch sides, are you saying the doors are shut on anyone from the TMC forever, or are you only talking about what is happening right now?
I am talking about a political culture. I'm talking that political culture must be wiped out from the state of West Bengal. In the process, the most guilty people must not be allowed to come into the BJP ever. And I think there I'm completely in tune with the sentiments of the state leadership in this respect. And finally, I'm saying that of course we welcome people who may have voted for the TMC, who may have supported the TMC for different reasons. After all, they were an anti-left force at one time. No, they will support us. But let us be cautious about what we are doing. Let us exercise a great deal of discretion, political judgment, and most important, let us never forget what the mandate of the people was on May the 4th. And that, if we keep all these in mind, I think we'll do very well. And I'm so happy, once again, let me reiterate, I'm very happy that the Trinamool Congress is imploding. I wish them, a happy space in the obituary columns of politics.
You know, sir, on that point, what do you attribute this to? Is it because of, the so-called anger against Abhishek Banerjee, or is it Mamata losing her grip for, various reasons?
There's a self-interest, basically. That's what it's all about. It seems remarkable that those people, in Bengal, there are people who have the characteristic of the chameleon. On May the 4th, we saw one sort of behavior from people till about midday. And then once the results started coming in, they started behaving in a very different sort of way. These things are happening. Unfortunately, the moral fabric of West Bengal has declined in that sense. And in politics, it's really hit rock bottom. So let's see. I am not privy to all the internal discussions of the Trinamool Congress. Neither am I particularly interested in knowing whether Abhishek Banerjee is more responsible than some other person. That's something they can figure out themselves. I know what's in the public arena, and I know in the public arena, I look upon, my thing is plague on both your houses.
Mr. Das Gupta, I've been reading the chatter on social media. I'm also aware that, you would have seen or heard about it. And there are many people who have this question in their mind, and I want your view. They say, how does the BJP avoid the trap of what they, describe loosely as, short-term numerical strength, undermining the, for lack of a better word, long-term ideological detox?
Well, we don't need, look, when you've got about 208 out of 294 in the assembly, you certainly don't need to make short-term compromises. You can afford to take a very principled stand. Sometimes a good majority makes it quite clear that short-term compromises are not necessary. Secondly, as far as the centre is concerned, I think there too, there's a certain numerical comfort. And that comfort is going to enhance next round of Rajya Sabha elections. And tell me honestly, what value addition are those people in the Rajya Sabha going to bring to the BJP from those who of the Trinamool Congress? There are loads of rootless wonders who are there, who've been taken in for different reasons.
Would you, sir, these ruthless wonders that you're talking about, and I don't want you to take names if you don't want to name names, but, I get the drift. Are some of these ruthless wonders, have they tried to reach out to you, calls, messages, congratulatory messages, etc., etc.?
No, my wife. There are one or two individuals with whom I have a personal relationship, but that is a personal relationship is different from a political thing. As far as they are concerned, I'm a political untouchable. I've been a political untouchable since the 1990s. So, I have no interest in what they do politically. Let them decide their own future. And, at one time they thought that Mamata Banerjee was the best thing after sliced bread. Now, obviously, that's not true. The people of West Bengal didn't think it was true.
Okay, let me ask you about the future of Mamata Banerjee. And I want you to answer this question not as a minister in the West Bengal government, but as a political observer who's seen, seen the rise and fall of many political giants. What happens to Mamata Banerjee next?
Look, I never write the political obituary of any individual. It's one of the worst things in political analysis to say that so-and-so's career is over. Nobody's career is ever over. So let us see, there is always, Mamata Banerjee is a towering leader. She's one of those people who has a very long career in active politics, and I don't think she's going to disappear in a hurry. She will remain the main opponent of the Bharatiya Janata Party for the foreseeable future. And we have to deal with her politically and not think that she's over. She's not over. As far as nephew is concerned, that's a different matter altogether. I do not have the same exalted opinion of him as I do of Mamata Banerjee.
Are we staring at an opposition vacuum, sir, given the fracture in the TMC? I mean, are we going to see an opposition, or namesake opposition, someone that the BJP would have an understanding with?
No, I think that's one of the, it's a sort of a systemic issue which in India is cropping up, is that the opposition certainly has been conceding a lot of space. Their own internal incoherence is becoming very, very marked. But there will always be an opposition in India, let's put it this way. You know, in a democracy like this in India, which has got so many pulls and pressures, there's bound to be opposition. Today that opposition might look fragile and weak and almost non-existent. But it's there, it's there. So I think as far as the BJP is concerned, we should always proceed on the assumption that there will be there will be an opposition, and we have to deal with them state by state, deal with them politically state by state, and with a degree of imagination and flexibility that the situation warrants.
Sir, with Mamata Banerjee now virtually isolated within her own party, just the last two questions, sir. Who do you think is the most powerful person, person with influence calling the shots in TMC? Or is it a group?
Look, Mamata, the so-called majority group, which the TMC are made up of people who, broadly speaking, represent nobody but themselves, except some of the Muslim MLAs who represent a certain Muslim constituency. They are the majority group in the TMC. Then you have in the TMC the old timers around Mamata Banerjee. They are more well-known faces, but they've had a bad innings. Their track record has been brought into question. In the last 15 years, they've taken the people of West Bengal for granted. So they are having to pay for that politically. But let me assure you that those people, the minority group, are still people whose faces are better known than the others.
Right. My final question, Mr. Das Gupta, how can I let you go without asking you this question about what Rahul Gandhi said last evening? He is claiming there is an institutional revolt, and that is brewing due to economic distress. He says, his prediction is that Modi will not be PM in 1 year, and that the government would also look at, go as far as imposing emergency. This is what Rahul Gandhi has said.
Well, I don't want to really question the political perspicacity of Rahul Gandhi. All I can say is that I don't think political forecasting is a profession he should readily undertake.
All right. Mr. Das Gupta, thank you for your time. Always a pleasure. Thank you for speaking to Times Now.